If I put cheap countertops next to an expensive one, would you actually be able to tell the difference? Most homeowners assume price always equals quality, but that's not always how it plays out in real kitchens. In this video, we're putting cheap versus expensive countertops to the test so you can see what you're really paying for. Countertops are important, but cabinets usually drive the biggest part of your budget. That's why I created the Ultimate Kitchen Cabinet Renovation Guide. It shows you what makes sense at 5K, 15K, 30K, and the 50K budget levels so you can allocate your money wisely. You'll find the link in the description below. So when it comes to countertops, there's a lot of differences that you can get from very expensive countertops to very cheap countertops. Now, what's the biggest difference? I'm basically gonna put up two countertops together and you guys tell me if you guys kind of figure out which is real and which is not. I'll still let you guys know either way. So these first two countertops basically kind of look exactly the same. I know this one's a little polished and this one's a very matte look, which is very popular nowadays, doing the matte countertops and then the polished look on your countertops. But can you guys really tell which is the difference? Here's how you can tell the difference. Basically, you kind of got to come over here and touch the feeling and see how it feels. If I were to pick these both up, one has a little bit of weight, one doesn't weigh anything. So this one is a laminate. So obviously a laminate are basically kind of like what we call Formica countertops. And this one here is one of my favorite countertops, which is a Dekton. Now, what does it mean when you choose with a Dekton, which is high quality, better looking countertop? This countertop can withstand over 1,000 degrees of heat. You get that pot, you put it right on top of here, it's not gonna do anything. You put that pot on here, it's gonna burn right through. You're just gonna leave a mark, you're gonna damage the countertop, and that's it, you're done. You're gonna have to change out this countertop, so it's not even worth it. But that's the Formica countertop. Dekton, on the other hand, the reason it's one of the most priciest stones is because they can do all kinds of stuff on this. If you buy special cooking ware, you could actually cook on this without having the burners on the top. It's an induction style cooktop where you kind of put the burners at the bottom and you could actually cook on the top. Very amazing, very beautiful, and like I said, very strong. You could scratch this like nothing will ever happen to it. It withstands a lot of heat, and the best thing about it is that it's not porous. So you don't have to worry about bacteria building up on here. You don't have to worry about getting sick and leaving stuff on here. You leave anything on here, anything will start growing on this laminate. So that's one of the biggest differences when it comes to this here, expensive versus cheap. The other one that's kind of sits on the expensive is this piece right here. Now you guys can see how thin that is. This is porcelain. Porcelain's been coming in pretty strong. It's very popular. The beautiful thing about porcelain is you can get those long slabs, but it is porcelain, it's strong, it's durable. The only problem is that you better be ready to pay a pretty penny to get this installed. Fabricators are afraid of this, they hate it, they don't like installing this because it's very fragile. Unfortunately, it breaks for them. But once it sets, once it's on your countertop, it's actually quite durable. But be ready to pay that premium price when it comes to installation. So now my next one is, we have this stone. Oh, I gave it away. That's the stone and that's the laminate there. When you put them together, you can kind of not see the difference, but this is your cheaper version, this is your good expensive version. Big difference in this is that it is a laminate, it does chip easily, so if we were to hit this, chances are breaking it are pretty slim. This is particle board. I know particle board has a bad rep, but they do use it for countertops. If you guys know what happens when you add water to particle board, swells up. On a stone, you leave water sitting on here, it's just gonna sit there. This material here is Cambria. Cambria is American made. That's why it's one of the most popular and very expensive countertops, but they produce amazing stuff. Very high end, very beautiful, and they create their own patterns, is why I really like Cambria. But one of the best things is American made. It's made here in the States. Great company. Started off as just a mom and pop kind of style company, but now they've grown so big, but they produce such beautiful stones. And this, it is a laminate. You could put it on there. I recommend putting this in rentals where, you know, the renters aren't gonna take care of this for you, but they won't take care of this, but after they move out, you swap it out, put something better. And if they damage it, oh well, you didn't pay that much. This, you did pay a pretty penny. And then the other thing that a lot of people always wonder, like, how can I save money? I still want the quartz, but I want to save money. You could go out and find something what they call a prefabricated slab. Now the prefabricated slab kind of comes already. You get your 3/4 on the side and it has a specific bullnose. You can't change your bullnose. Basically what they sell is what you get. Those pieces usually come already at 25 inches by typically 96 inches long, and that's all you get. Whatever they have is what you get. You're looking at possibly starting at a low end value of a prefabricated quartz slab, maybe about about 100 bucks, and then you shoot up there going up to like maybe close to 300, 400, 500 bucks, and it all depends on the color. The downfall about these countertops is that they are import countertops, usually not made with the best material, not made to high standards. You put something hot on this, there's a high chance that it's gonna change, it's gonna fade on you. But with Cambria, you obviously, you know, you have good material that they use. The resin that they use on this is amazing, it's really good. The only problem with these two is that you can't put that much heat. You put, I say about between 350 to 450 degrees of heat on here. So that means if you're bringing out a pot, it's probably gonna be hot and it's gonna damage it. What kind of damage it would it do? You'll probably get a marking on there. It could basically damage the resin that they use. If you do it on an import slab, a prefabricated slab, guarantee you're gonna damage it. So we're gonna go ahead and test these countertops off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like a screwdriver, see if we can scratch this. We're gonna see if we can scratch this. We'll get a hammer, kind of hammer it, see what kind of damage it does to it. And that way you guys can see on your own. Let me go get some tools. All right, so we're gonna try a wire bristle here. This is very, it'll scratch a lot of stuff. We have the hammer here to give it a hammer test. And I brought some pliers here. We're just gonna see if we could bend it. I doubt it I can, I'm not that strong, but let's give it a try. So the first one, wire brush, basically, if you guys could hear, it kind of scratches it. Does it scratch it? No, doesn't really give it a scratch or anything, so you really can't see it. You guys can see, I'll scrape it too. Doesn't really damage it. So now let's give it a try with this laminate. I'm gonna get this lighter one here and let's see what kind of damage we can create on this one here. So I'm pretty much taking the finish off of it, if you guys could see. Yeah, it's been discoloring. So let's see what it does here with this. There you go. You can see the damage that it does by scraping it on here. So if someone were to use a knife, you could actually scratch it pretty bad. So that's the difference between this cheap countertop and then the good countertop. I did scratch it kind of about the same way and it really didn't do any damage. Now let's give it a hammer test. Basically, I'm just gonna put it here. Let's see what it does. 2 hammer hits, nothing much to it. So Quartz can handle pretty good. Now let's see what it does to this one. If you guys could tell, right there, it's already cracked, broken. So if someone were to give a hammer to this to your countertop, you'll probably go after them because it's damaged. You would have to completely replace it. Big difference. Hammer hit, didn't do much to it. Hammer hit, kind of damaged it. Kind of want to do that again. Gave it a little hit. Just got a little small dent. I wanted to hit it a little harder, see what it did. Since I barely hit this one, it kind of damaged it, but that's all the little niche I kind of got. That's easily replaceable. Put some epoxy in there and that'll kind of give it a nice little clean. Not really gonna do this. I don't think it'd be any difference. Like, I don't think I'm strong enough to bend this, but let's see what it does. Nope, not strong enough. And let's give this one a try. Yeah, I actually damaged it. If you guys could see right there, kind of messed it up pretty good. So there's your biggest difference when you go with cheaper countertops and more expensive countertops. The other test would be a heat test. I can't do that here, but the heat test would definitely damage this and it would withstand this. But if we were using something like a Dekton, like this one here, we could probably take a blowtorch to it and probably wouldn't do anything. If I take a blowtorch to this, probably catch fire. Hopefully you guys like that, because I did enjoy it. If this helped you make smarter decisions about countertop value, the next video you should watch is the truth about quartz versus granite countertops. I'll link it right here and see you there.